My review on the death of Superman, and it's um okay. You remember that movie Superman Doomsday that I reviewed from 2007, I think, animated film. This animated film is basically the same story, but it's a lot more faithful to its source material, and it is longer, but it goes by a little faster because it's so engaging. Overall, it's just a better film and a better story and better standalone. This better film doesn't, you know, it's overall a better film. And more of a tearjerker when it gets to the end. See, Superman doesn't die in the beginning, like in the first few minutes, like in the Doomsday. He actually dies at the very, very end after fighting Doomsday and defeating him. Now, that's not the whole story. That's just the last third act. And, I'll talk about more like last third act when we get there. See, the film opens up with Superman saving the day and being a hero. And see that he's a hero to everyone, including his friends. That he actually inspires this drunk who was ex-drunk to get better, to clean up his act. And we didn't know he was ex-drunk until he, was talking to God of why he had to let Superman die, but a old drunk like him gets to keep Uncle Living sister in right, he says. And to be honest, that's the one of the weaker. That's the most weak I've seen. What's the word? Comic that is based off of in the movie. So, but I can't help but feel like that this thing was just in there just for fan service. And I feel like if you cut that scene out, it wouldn't have made the film any difference. The flow would affect the story of the film at all. That's the only scene I feel like that was just needed in there. Another scene that was before the end, and I feel like another thing that was added in there was and I feel like they played the cards too soon. Was Superman awake? Supposedly, a Superman awake from his grave, and his grave is empty. And you see Superman, or you think it's Superman. We don't know until the sequel, and we see all the other Superman getting ready to start in their origin story at the end. And I feel like I feel like they could have been better if they just edit that stuff out, and it just ended with Superman's coffin empty, and that should have been the end of the film. I feel like this film, unlike the Superman Doomsday, that the film, when it gets to the end, it overstays its welcome a bit. So, yeah, some points are going to get taken off. So, overall, it's still a good film, and the story's about Clark Kent struggling to balance his love life with Lois Lane, while his other life as Superman with Lois Lane, and he's struggling and conflicted throughout the 3-act structure if he should tell her who he really is, who his secret was, that he's Superman. And he comes clean, and he tells Lois that he's Superman. She doesn't buy it first, but she thinks it's a joke. Then she realizes, holy crap, he's serious. And then she realizes that this makes so sense. And then I think, says, okay, now there's another secret I want to tell you. So, he lets her know of his last secret that he wanted to tell her, and his last secret is, I love you. So the only two secrets that he was keeping from her, that he was Superman and that he loves her, and he never said I love you before to her. And she got the letter that Superman left for her when he had to go fight Doomsday while the Justice League are getting creamed. The entire Justice League are getting creamed by Doomsday, and Doomsday says not going to be stopped. Not one of them can stop him. But Superman can stop him. Superman's told by one point, like, don't hold back or he'll kill everyone. Superman doesn't really hold back, but he does try to save civilians in the meantime and tell this kid, saves this kid from, after this kid risks his life to get his video game, his portable video game. he saves his kid's dumbass life and he hands the kid his video game console, his hand-up video game costume, telling him it's going to be okay, son. And he goes back to his mom, and that's the same kid that saw Superman die on the news is actually in tears, along with the other world. Well, Lois Lane is holding his corpse, and holding his corpse, and she's listening until Jimmy's recording it, and for live public to see is Superman, the most famous icon, the most famous, world's biggest hero, died, you know? And it's really sad, sad scene. So Superman decides to, he's like, took him beating, but not as more beaten than Doomsday, and so far everything doesn't really work, so he punches Doomsday's neck out of place while he's going towards Lois. So he saved the love of his life, and before she was throwing rocks at Doomsday, she threw rocks at Doomsday to help Superman to recover, to distract Doomsday, and she said, "I got your letter, Clark. I love you too," she said. And Superman snaps Doomsday's neck after fighting full force at his head, and then he lands on Doomsday's one of Doomsday's spikes, and he's mortally wounded in the chest. And he says, Yes, Lois, did I save the day? Is it dead? And Lois says, yes, you did it, Clark. It was like nothing you ever fought before, and you came out on top as always. And Superman's last final words says, that's all I ever wanted. Even you. That's all he said. He said that's all I ever wanted was the people you save, but not as much as I wanted you. Lois Lane, he says too. He says his last few words are, "How lucky of a guy was I?" And then he's gone. So, Superman is a really good movie. Superman Doomsday is a really good movie. I would give it a 10 out of 10, except I'm going to have to drop some. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it overstays its welcome when you get to the end. Like, we put all this unnecessary clips. I mean, yeah, I got Superman's funeral was there, and you had to show his grave empty, but you didn't have to show the other Superman rising, you know? Inside the origin story, and you didn't have to show this guy who grieving over Superman. It's like, it's not like not like we've seen him in the other DC New 52 films. We only see him in this film, so and it's just, you know, it's not as effective you want it to be because you haven't seen this guy who's an ex-drunk and the other DC 52 films. So it just feels like they're trying to jerk the nostalgia off of the audiences, and because I don't know why. So overall, I do think this is better than Superman Doomsday, but it's not a 10 out of 10 because of the ending drags on, and I feel like it overstays its welcome with the ending. It's like having these minor, small clips at the end credits. I mean, if you just wanted to actually end on a Superman, end on Superman's grave open, people looking up and thinking that's Superman in the air, then okay, I would give it a 10 out of 10. But then they just, these overstay open by play clips and after credits, and credits, clips for each Superman that's going to be in the reign of Superman that's which is the fall of. And it's like, it's almost like the film's telling me, like, we mostly made this so you would go watch the reign of Superman. I mean, really, that's really the message you want to deliver your audience, that this is a cash grab? I mean, granted, every film's a cash grab, but you could be more subtle about it. Or be subtle about it. Period. So, therefore, it gets a 9 out of 10. It would have gone a 10 out of 10 if there weren't so many clips in between the end credits and clip at the end credits. That's just shot of Cyborg, Superman, and freeze frame. It's not really clips. It's just more like it looks like a poster coming at you. It's so weird. It's like once you have the end credits starting, I don't want to see any clips. Not even an anime motion picture, damn it. So, this gets a 9 out of 10. Because they just want to stop beating the dead horse. Like, in this case, it's Superman that they're beating. Superman's core, because, yeah, he died, but they couldn't stop with the cash grab and stuff. They couldn't, at the end, they showed no restraint once the credits roll. They didn't show any restraint. Maybe one clip would be fine, but several? In between credits, the end credits? That's insane! Anyway, so this gets a 9 out of 10 for me because of that. I would have given a 10 out of 10 if they just showed one clip at the end credits, or show none. I would have given a 10 out of 10 if they did that way, but they didn't. So, this seems like it could have been better, you know?